All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Men's European Roller Derby Championship. My name is Statman, and I am here with Sven Will I Be Famous.
Good afternoon, everybody. Forward.
Absolutely, that was an amazing move to the outside. I was hoping it was good. No, it wasn't. He was knocked out. Has to go to the box.
That was great hit.
Oh. That was a great job by the Crash Test Brummies wall there to force that cut track.
So Rex Tangle now back on track for the Crash Test Brummies as we have the jammer swap. So this one, of course, going to go the full 2 minutes now with the lead jammer being lost.
But we're only going to have about 14 seconds of power jam left by my reckoning. Both very short trips to the box.
So let's see if Rex Tangle can make the most of that. That was his initial pass complete, of course, being sent off during his initial pass right out of the gate. Just coming up the back of that 3-wall there, Beref drops back. He's up against chest to chest with Slam C. Nesbitt, just forcing him to the outside. Bit of to and fro. Gets through for the first 5-point pass for the Crash Test Brummies.
Can I just say I love the way that jammer referee signals a 5-point grand slam. She doesn't spin her hand, it's a raise the roof.
Yeah, that was one that, Major Travis T was instructing my ref crew a few weeks ago when Central City came to Newcastle. And I think it's the preferred way of showing it now, is pumping the hand. It makes it a bit more clear just to everyone that is a score going up.
But it doesn't make it as clear that it's a 5. I like the ones that show the 5 by turning it. It's sometimes hard to see that thumb with some of the wrist guards in here. I don't believe there is, and this is one of those things that maybe there shouldn't be. A little bit of flair from a jammer ref shows that they're confident.
That's Lieutenant Dam for New World Order. He's straight out of the gate for lead jammer. Truck Rogers, hard and fast on the outside. Just knocks Jamie Dodger from his feet as he exits the pack on turn 2. Lieutenant Dan now just approaching the pack for his first scoring pass. Just bounces off the back of Rodders, gets a couple of points, calls the jam. I think we're going to see someone going pick up a direction in that there. So it looks like we've got Ben Hurt jamming for the Crash Test Brummies, and it's Tintin jamming for New World Order. Hugo Boss just spins Ben Hurt to the inside on the end of the turn 3, and immediately runs back as far as he can till out of play is called.
He asked the referees, had his blocker gone off? Of course, the referee is not allowed to answer that question.
Quick confirmation there, the Tintin is lead, so New World Order have lead now. Still very close in the scoring right now.
Oh, somebody's just gotten sent off. I'm not sure who.
That was a misconduct call on Tintin. I think it was possibly blocking with both feet off the ground, or maybe blocking a down skater, but it looks as though he actually jumped into Riley Coyote, so you cannot block with both feet off the ground, and he's going to pay the price for that now. Crash Test Brummies, Ben Hurt on the power jam. At the moment, he's only got Riley Coyote helping him out as a blocker until Barry Fight gets in there.
You know, I have not seen a misconduct penalty for months until I got to this tournament, and I've seen almost one per game minimum.
A lot of them get drawn just from the apex jump. You know, if you try and jump into a space that isn't there, that's an intentional attempt to block someone with both feet off the ground.
That's right. Which is a more frequently called penalty now than it used to be, and I like that. A block with both feet off the floor is inherently unsafe.
Although it's still based on impact.
Absolutely, but it's still an inherently unsafe
Yeah.
situation.
So we've got Ben Hurt now just trying to squeeze between Sausage Roller and Hugo Boss. I think two of the bigger blockers that New World Order have. So probably he's trying to call it, but Ben Hurt was not lead. That was actually called off, I think, end of the jam. So Tintin is standing. So Rex Tangle's going to start jamming. The Power Start, I've been informed it should be called the Power Start Rex Tangle.
I question that.
Yeah, I still see you start on the Power Jam.
Yeah, I like that better.
But Tintin returns to track just as Rex Tangle picks up a lead jammer. So the Power Jam's gone straight elbow there from Captain Cageman. Catches Tintin as he's trying to go past. So
caught him right on the ear, it looked like.
That's still going to be a high block, unintentional or not. So Tintin through the pack now on his initial passes. Rex Tangle spins to the outside. Just forced to call it off there. He sees the New World Order blockers trying to recycle him back. And I believe that's Truck Rogers.
That looks like Truck Rogers to me.
Got one of those rare occasions of a pack that isn't huddling the jam line.
A pivot line start that started with a no pack call. I haven't seen those since the 1990s.
Jammy Dodger there, tried to take a whip off Slamsey Nesbitt, but ran into the back of Barry Fights. So Truck Rogers able to slip through, pick up lead jammer for the Crash Test Brummies. Jammy now out of the pack and racing to catch up as Truck Rogers is already starting his first pass assault. 4 points, calls off the jam.
But concedes 4 to Jammy Dodger.
Must be quite daunting because, both teams have also got some very short jammers.
They do, but that can sometimes be an advantage. A short jammer's head is right where a tall blocker tries to throw every single block.
So we got Bruise Brother jamming New World Order. He's going against Rex Tangle, the Crash Test Brummies. There's Rex Tangle out in front by about 30 feet lead now.
Look what a fast pack we're getting this jam. New World Order want to extend themselves up to the front. They're about to get blocked.
Rex Tangle goes for the quick couple of points.
The New World Order, of course, are an M.R.D.A. league. The New World Order are a team, in an M.R.D.A. league. Let's be perfectly clear about that.
Yes. And
one of the few co-ed leagues in the world.
Yeah, not many co-ed leagues. The problem with the co-ed leagues, of course, is that there are some restrictions on leagues. The co-ed leagues who want to progress to become like WFTDA leagues, of course.
Absolutely. But the MRDA have no such restrictions.
No, MRDA just seem to be, you play the required bout, you show that you are a good enough team, and you can be signed off as MRDA.
And in fact, there are 2 MRDA leagues over here in Europe, both of them in England, to be more specific.
And Tynan Fear have got their application in at the moment. They have fulfilled the required bouts by playing both New World Order and Southern Discomfort in the last few months.
And so they should be acceding to MRDA status soon.
Very soon, we hope.
That'll be quite exciting.
Tintin just slid past Barry Fight there, picks up the 5, calls the jam.
2.
Yeah, MRD, sorry, yeah, 14 teams because MRD have got their B team in here as
That's
well, the
right.
Chaos Engine.
Which is quite exciting to see men's leagues with B teams. So now we're about ready to start this power jam. Is that Jamie Dodger there?
That is Jamie Dodger just up against Scott John the Rocks at the moment, chest to chest.
Jamie Dodger trying to be a dodgy jammer. Almost through. Oh, and it's a dodgy pass. No point. He is not lead. In the box, Truck Rogers still eligible for lead jam status as it's open.
That's Ben Hurt in the box at the moment, sorry.
Cheers.
He's going to be recycled right back behind the jam line as we get a box empty, so we're back full complement on the track. Ben Hurt just taking some hurt from Lieutenant Dam, being thrown around. Jamie Dodger gets the lap point, but of course he's not lead, so it's going to be whether Ben Hurt can get through cleanly and try and minimize the damage that can be done here.
Oh. All right, that jam was called off. Yes, because Jamie Dodger signaled to call it. I actually was blocked from seeing that he signaled. However, I did see the referees call it, and unless the jam reached its natural conclusion, there he is. Jamie Dodger's in the box. That is an illegal procedure for calling off the jam when non-lead, and we have a power jam for the Brummies.
Chuck Rogers now with the power jam. And he's just bouncing off the back. A sausage roller breaks the pack first. Only the 3-wall of New World Order blockers to get through. But what a 3-wall.
What a powerful 3-wall. Slamsy Nesbitt anchoring the outside. Very tough position to play. You need to be both physical and quick. Sausage roller now on the inside. And bereft. Finishing out that 3-wall.
Bridging on the corner, which is often a disadvantage, especially on the exit of a turn, because you've got the extra foot of space that you've got to try and cover.
Absolutely. Much more important to bridge on the inside, although you've got to take what they give you. If the jammer's coming up the inside, you cannot fall off. A player from the New Wheeled Order knocks a player from the Brummies out, and the player from the New Wheeled Order is still in play. The pack is not destroyed.
They become the pack player, of course, yeah. But you can destroy the pack.
You can if you take your own self out, too. And while that's occurring, Rex Tangle picks up lead jammer. Jammy Dodger held behind a solid 2-wall.
Yeah, the power jam came to an end right at the start there, so Jammy Dodger returned the track just as Rex Tangle is picking up lead jammer. Other than that, it's 4-on-3 advantage to New Wheeled Order here.
Whoa! Rex Tangle with a quick trip up the inside.
Brummies are going to start off now, an extra blocker down, 4 versus 2 advantage to New Wheeled Order.
Now who do we have as those two? Those are strong blockers and a little bit of stealth jamming gets Crash Test Brummies the lead jam.
That was Ben Hurt lead jamming. It looks as though, we got a forearms penalty. Bruce Brother, just as he wiped out Scott John DeRocks as he exited turn 2. Looks like the ref saw that as a forearms.
Absolutely. This is a chance to put on a specialist line, just knowing they're going to deal with a power jam. Here's how we want to play it.
New Wheeled Order, though, doing well penalty killing here. They've got some big blockers out there, and they've got the advantage. Lead is given as Truck Rogers slides around turn 2 past Don Gingiovanni.
Truck Rogers driven right up to the edge of the track, but manages to save it, leaning in hard on one skate. He just did a 360 behind the pack.
Just squeezing at the moment between Tintin and Don Gingiovanni. Hugo Boss is also up front there, just trying to use Tintin as an offensive weapon, throwing him into Truck Rogers.
Oh, and Truck Rogers just slipped just 1 or 2 skates out of bounds. The rest of him was in, so he's forced to recycle.
Jammy Dodger now at the front, chest to chest in the missionary block. Just trying not to stop himself, of course, while the rest of New World Order bridge out as far as they can. A lot of the time when you're penalty killing, it's not about stopping the jammer, it's about making the jammer's laps longer and more tiring.
Slowing them down and or knocking them down. Because I read once that getting up from the track is a lap and a half worth of endurance.
We're back on now. We've got Lieutenant Dam just being recycled to the back to turn 4 by Barry Fight, as Rex Tangle rolls off bereft on turn 1, picks up a lead jammer for the Brummies. Lieutenant Dam just again being thrown out by Barry Fight, but Barry Fight goes down, so Lieutenant Dam has a bit of a stumble.
He picks up a no pass, no point though, so he knows he can go on.
He also picks up a strange horsey ride there by Slamsy. Nesbitt rides him down the back straight.
I was wondering what you were going to call that.
Lieutenant Dam out of the pack now on his first scoring pass, as Rex Tangle is forcing that huddle of players around turn 3. Ducks under the Slamsy. Nesbitt picks up the 4 points and calls off the jam.
It's a classic lineup from both teams. And it is only one off the track for the New Wheeled Order, none for the Brummies.
Jammy just getting held up by Tintin there. He tries to go around the outside of turn 1. But looks like Ben Hurt picks up the cut track, so Jammy Dodger has the power jam, just as Rod has to beat, gets round him on turn 3, picks up lead jammer for New Wheeled Order.
This could be huge for the New Wheeled Order. They're down by 31 points. They need to run a hell of a power jam right now.
They are down 1 blocker. Hopefully that won't impede them too much. They're just going for that solid back wall and letting the Brummies have to bridge out to try and go with Jammy, kind of almost the passive offense.
They're giving him the passive offense now. Earlier, they had given him as much offense as they could, and it seemed like they were almost just trying to interfere with the Brummies' ability to form a wall rather than opening up specific lanes.
Jamie Dodger there just being able to draw that clockwise block from Robert Quadriguez.
Jamie Dodger electing to call it off. I don't think he liked the way his pack was looking and that jam was going.
Yeah, again, it's kind of defending or kind of having a power jam on the tight apex of the turns. Gives them a bit extra room, and it's harder for you to kind of set up an apex jump to take the speed when you're on the outside of the turn, but on the inside of the track. So when you're coming out of turn 3 into turn 4, it's hard to take that corner and keep it tight on the inside. You really wanted to be defending the entrance to the turn.
Now, I like the way M.E.R.D are lining up on this one. It looked like they were going to do a wall on the outside. They did a little bit of offense and now leave Bruise Brother alone. Picks up his lead jam status.
So now a much stronger position for Bruise Brother as he comes up the pack, having a 4-wall at the back. Again, quite a hefty 4-wall. Sausage Roller and Slamsy Nesbitt making that up. Just fighting his way through. Ben Hurt back to track now, so he's going to hit that 4-wall. 5 already on the board for New World Order.
Ben Hurt, of course, still on his initial pass, and he will not leave his initial pass. I believe he just picked up a cut track major.
Yeah, Bereft just doing a great little step back to force that cut track, so that's another.
And it was just one step, that's all it takes.
So that's 10 points so far that New World Order have managed to recover. That'll be 15.
So they are now within 11 of the crash test Brummies.
Time expires for Robert Quadriguez penalty, so he's going to help penalty kill for the Brummies. Looks like Bruise Brother did actually go one toe stop inbounds on the cut track there. Scott John DeRox has pushed him out.
He lifted his out of bounds foot as he was trying to skate back to recycle, and therefore picks up the cut track because he now is legally in bounds.
It seems to be the catch-22 of the more nimble players who can pivot on the toe stops. Is sometimes they don't realise that when they're doing that, they're sliding past the blocker and they've actually made the cut track, so that staying upright sometimes the hindrance.
Well, and if you get hit and one skates out and one skates in, as you say, the ones who can pivot around sometimes forget that they have to pivot on the outside foot.
So now the power jam expires.
Bruise Brother, of course, has some points from that last pass. He finishes up. Oh, no! He picked up a cut track because he dropped a skate out of bounds. With about 7.5 minutes left in the first half.
Truck Rogers there, just again, bounces his toe stop on the ground as he slides past, just what we were talking about.
And pulled off that out of bounds foot, which makes him an officially inbound skater. And I love watching 3 members of the New World Order call the penalty even before the referees can.
Sometimes it's useful for players to know the rules. Sometimes it comes as a hindrance to the referees when you've got all the players shouting at them.
Of course.
So Bruise Brother out of the bin where he started the jam, picks up a lead. So New World Order have the pack advantage now. Only a 2-wall at the front, but Scott John DeRox again, they're proving to be a great blocker in these penalty killing situations. Forcing the call off as Truck Rogers comes back to track.
What a great charity opportunity. Now, Lieutenant Dam has recorded lead jam status here with, Rex Tangle caught in the back of the pack.
Rex Tangle just managed to side surf around Sausage Roller's hips on the outside of turn 2. But the lap point has already been recorded for Lieutenant Dam as Tintin and Gazuka managed to recycle Rex Tangle back, so we may see another lap point going in as Lieutenant Dam approaches the back of the pack.
There's the lap point signal.
Rex Tangle exits the pack now for his first pass, so he will begin scoring, but Lieutenant Dam sees that and calls it with another 4 on the board.
The score is now 79-85 in favor of the Brummies, with just under 6 minutes remaining and 6 points in the contest.
Brummies again suffering that pack disadvantage, but they have got some effective blocks in there. Scott John DeRox has been very good.
Oh, and it looks like Silverback called for a low block. He'll be on his way to the penalty box, so it is a power jam to the New Wheeled Order.
Yeah, sorry, I did say it was Ben Hurd at the start with Silverback that's jamming for the Crash Test Brummies. So Jammy now just chest to chest with Scott John DeRox. That was Hillbilly with a great hit that forced him off. He's going to recycle back to the start of turn 1.
Scotch on the Rocks, though, is dealt a penalty for direction of gameplay. So Jammy Dodger has one fewer blocker to work his way by. He does. Picks up a neat 5-point grand slam.
That was some very nimble footwork by Jammy Dodger, just spinning both ways there to get past blockers and exit the pack. Again, one of these jammers that likes to approach the pack, approach the opposition wall backwards.
There's a number of them who do. Manchester Roller Derby there trying to keep a goat, unable to do so.
No pack was called in. I think there was some continuation to block, so we're going to see Captain Cageman is going to pick that up. Jammy calls it after he's got his 5. I have to say I've been very impressed with the standard of play that the Brummies have been able to put up this week. I mean, it was only a few months ago that I watched them play, and they've improved so much since then. They've obviously gone in hard with this training. Barry Fight picks up the outer player block on Tintin.
It was a massive block, but it'll send him to the bin.
An out of play block is an out of play block no matter how big it is. So at the moment only Rodda's on track, and as effective as he's been this week, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. Silverback tries the apex jump, puts 1 foot down, steps in, gets the cut track. We're still going to go power jam Tintin for New Wheeled Order.
So it's another minute for Silverback. He's spent, 2 minutes out of the last 2 minutes, 10 seconds in the box.
Both his minutes as a jammer on track have been sitting in the penalty box. Tintin now just going to push this lead out for the New Wheeled Order. The Brummies did have 3 on track until Barry Fight goes to take his seat in the box. Waved away earlier.
Now they're down to 2, and those 2 started just a little bit too far out of the front and were unable to stay in play, and therefore unable to block very long.
Bereft actually just being quite aggressive as a blocker for New Wheeled Order there. Tintin tried to step on track. I think it was being signals and no pass, no penalty, so he probably could have carried on.
He was just concerned, though. Got a shout from his mate in the penalty box, Gazuka. Just go ahead and recycle.
Captain Cageman picked up the direction of gameplay. Clockwise block on Tintin there, just as he returned to the track after that.
And one of those 2 is on his way to the bin.
And of course, it looks as though they've got no choice to do a star pass here because their pivot is currently sitting in the bin. So even when Silverback comes on, he's going to have to stay as the jammer as long as he can. Lead has gone to Bruce Brother. Just looks like he's trying to duck under the armpit of Rodders, which for most players would be fine, but I mean, Rodders is tall enough that you can't do that without bending down. Silverback attacking the back of the pack, finally steps around the outside of turn 2 to exit his initial pass. Barry Fight just exiting the penalty box, shadowing Bruce Brother, tries to put the hit on him. Bruce Brother able to skirt the pack on turn 4, pick up the 4 points and call the jam. Truck Rogers there, great hit from Jammy Dodger, throws Truck Rogers to the outside of turn 3. Goes down himself, but the rest of the New Wheeled Order pack managed to recycle.
A huge recycle job. Took him back almost 60 feet.
Lieutenant Dam, jamming for New Wheeled Order, has lead jam, has already made his first 5-point pass to the pack. Truck Rogers once again being thrown at the front. It looks like Sausage Roller doing the damage this time. And they're going to lead him all the way back down the crowd straight. Lieutenant Dam, another 5 points, calls the jam.
And the final for the first half is Manchester's New Wheeled Order 123, Crash Test Brummies 85.
So it's only really been the last 5 minutes of that period that have put a gap between these 2 teams here.
Absolutely. Those last few minutes have really, really been key for New World Order. So we're going to take a halftime break, and we'll see you back in about 14 minutes. All right, we're coming back from halftime with a score 123 for Manchester Roller Derby's New World Order, 85 for the Crash Test Brummies.
It was a fantastic first period, and say until the very last 5 minutes, you couldn't put a piece of paper between the two teams in terms of scoreline. Then a couple of power jams right at the end for the New World Order have really opened it up.
Speaking of opening it up, a great job by Slam C Nesbitt of opening up a gap in that wall to get their jammer through for lead jam status.
That's Bruce Brother jamming for New World Order. Rex Tangle now hunting him down about half a lap behind. Bruce Brother into the pack, just steps down Ilbilly, calls off the jam, so that's going to be 4 points on the board for New World Order. Both teams minus a blocker. But Rodders is standing at the moment. Gazuka still sitting, so Rodders will be returning to track very soon to bolster the numbers of the Crash Test Brummies. Some
amazing hitting out there, but it's a multiplayer block on Truck Rogers.
Bit of hesitation there by Truck Rogers. Wasn't sure whether he had to skate the full lap or like to get into the penalty box from the right way around.
And this is one of those frustrating moments because the referees won't tell you the answer.
Exactly, it's down to you to decide, and if you try and enter the box the wrong way around, you'll get waved away from the sin bin stuff, so that's going to take even more time.
Well, sure, although if you're right in front of the sin bin, I would rather get waved off and run the risk of actually getting waved off, but have that opportunity to maybe sit straight down.
Right, I mean, there's no penalty involved. So.
Right, that's the one case when there's no penalty.
So Lieutenant Dam now just pushing that lead on New World Order out again. As was said earlier, it's the power jams for New World Order that are really doing this, and the Brummies have really got to get together and stop picking up these needless penalties.
The Brummies jammers are jamming risky, and I have a feeling that's because it was an upset for them to get here. That maybe they feel like they have to play extra hard in order to stay competitive, but it's not paying off for them.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, Truck Rogers picked up the multiplayer block, which could have been one of those unfortunate ones where he was trying to take a whip off someone's shirt, and someone challenges that link, which counts as a multiplayer block.
Oh, and it's a jammer swap for a cut track. So Truck Rogers is back on the track now. As much as we were talking about M.E.R.D power jams, what have we thought about how Crash Test Brummies attack them?
Well, it's the way it's been going. I mean, the Crash Test Brummies have been good in the power jam, but they've always got that diminished pack. So here we've only got two in the pack for the Brummies trying to help the power jam. New World Order have got, well, now 3 blockers on track, penalty killing. Jamie Dodger just getting all up in the grill of Truck Rogers before passing off to Don Gingiovanni.
That's the only legit way to describe what he was doing. And I believe we have an official timeout now.
It's an official review being called by New World Order, I believe.
All right, that official review was over the multiplayer block, and it was, as you predicted, it was a jammer attempting to take a whip, and a clever blocker challenged the link, made it a penalty, and scored a power jam for his team.
So we're still on the power jam. Ben Hurt just being forced off the track by Bereft. Signaling out of play while other people are looking at the feet.
And so you have to have that auditory communication and the big signals. You see none of these referees do little signals. It's all the whole body into it. Oh, neat little apex jump there by Barry Fight. He picks up a nice 4 points.
Lieutenant Dam returned to track just after Barry Fight picked up lead jam.
You know, in the last 3 or 4 minutes, we've seen a major switch from nothing but Brummie penalties to nothing but New World Order penalties.
Rex Tangle fighting with the inside switches to the outside of turn 1. Just got to run around Hugo Boss. Out of play called.
And he is lead.
We got Bruce Brother in the back of the pack now. Rex Tangle just switches around him, takes the corner backwards before racing off back down the crowd straight.
Well, the Brummies did such a great job of controlling the outside of that pack. He knew exactly. They tell you as a jammer never go on the outside on a turn, but when you guys own the outside on a turn, oh. And he's called for a forearms. So he's on his way to the penalty box, and it's a New Wheeled Order power jam.
We've also got one of the crash test Brummies has just gone and sat in the box. So that's going to even up the numbers on track slightly. Bruce Brother just skips the apex. 5 points for New Wheeled Order going up there. Bit of hustling in the pack. As the Brummies try to form a wall, the New Wheeled Order blockers just try and mess that wall up. No pack calls. Everyone has to concede the positions until someone can reform that.
And because no one reformed it, there goes the penalty for an out-of-play block.
Riley Coyote going in the box there. Often it's the pivot or the most responsible player.
And if there's no one most responsible player, then it goes to the pivot.
So again, we'll see this again. The Brummies trying to penalty kill with only 2 blockers. New Wheeled Order just doing the right thing there, just doing the slow offense, letting the no pack form of its own accord. Bruceville are taking some punishing hits here from Silverback. Illbilly just tries to push him to the outside, but he managed to roll around. Rex Tangle only managed to pick up 2 there.
Oh, what a heavy hit.
So we've got Tintin trying to fight his way past Barry Fight. Got Captain Cageman to beat, and he's picked up a lead. Truck Rogers still struggling in the back. Rodders just steps in, trying to open a bit of a hole for him to step through, as Tintin's about 30 feet from the back of the pack now. Closing that gap. Rex Tangle pushed to the inside. He's going to recycle back, so there's the lap point. Tintin just has a free ride up the inside.
Gave a little celebratory fist pump as he exited that pack. He's doing a great jam.
Unfortunately, Truck Roger there gets caught with a high block, just tries to seal club Jamie Dodger, but catches him high. Lieutenant Dam just pushed to the outside by Ben Hurt. He's going to try and get in behind him again. Nod from the jam ref to say that it's all good to pick the communication from the outside pack ref. So still the power jam, New Wheeled Order. Don Gingiovanni just trying to mess up the crash test Brummies wall, stretching it right out, making the Brummies do the work, chasing down at the front.
There's another 5 points for the New Wheeled Order. They've been giving offense this power jam. Don Gingiovanni throwing some heavy offense. Same with Hugo Boss. Then just breaking the pack so he goes free. It's not even a passive offense. It's hardcore offense and then stop, let the pack break quickly.
It's hit it and quit it.
That's exactly what it is.
You make the defensive wall think that you're going to fight, and they're going to go with you, and then you stop and let them run away.
And then the pack falls apart, your jammer goes free. But now it's no longer a power jam. Truck Rogers back on the track, solid wall of maroon in front of him.
Truck Rogers there just collides with Don Gingiovanni, picks up a back block. I don't think that was on Don Gingiovanni. I think that was as he was going through. So Truck Rogers is heading back to the bin now. More power jam time for New Wheeled Order and Lieutenant Dam.
Don Gingiovanni goes into the pack as the offensive blocker. Don Gingiovanni and Hugo Boss went on for offense and then stopped. There's the no pack.
So we're getting some failure to reform penalties being dished out there for the one per team. Hugo Boss and Illbilly both picking those up. Yeah, definitely. And it is. I mean, it's spelled out clearly in the rules as well. There has to be. You have to have the attempt. So you can't wait a few seconds.
Right.
Once you hear the warning, that's it.
It must be immediate, and that's how you emphasize it. You enforce immediate as literally as possible.
Tintin now still power jam. New Wheeled Order facing a 3-wall crash test Brummies. Barry Fight now with a chest-to-chest seal clubbing. Tintin just bounces off on the apex of turn 1 for another 5 points on the board. We've now got more than 100 points between the two teams. Once again, it's Rodders and Barry Fight trying to do the most they can to just slow down Tintin.
You know, they do an excellent job of hitting him and bringing that extra effort, but it doesn't seem to be causing too much.
Jammy Dodger picks up the clockwise block in the middle of that tussle.
But nonetheless, Chuck Rogers has to recycle behind Gazuka, who looks quite pleased to be the one doing the recycling. All right, they're released. This jam underway. There's only one total skater in the box, which is a rarity this bout. Rex Tangle is through. He is lead jammer.
Bruce Brother took some big hits on his way through the pack there, but I believe he has a hockey background, so he's going to be able to take those hip checks.
I'm sure he'll be fine with it. They're going to have to bank on a string of power jams the way New World Order received.
Indeed, and that's been the downfall of the Brummies so far, has been the penalty time racking up, meaning it's been power jam to power jam. Lieutenant Dam out the pack first, lead jammer closely followed by Ben Hurt, so that's going to put the pressure on Lieutenant Jam here to get in, score some points for New World Order. And that's what he does, he goes straight for that cheeky, I'm going to start calling as I'm entering the pack and hope I pick one up.
Defensive jamming is such an underrated skill. They have been released, but it's a slow, shovey pack right now.
It's Chuck Rogers jamming for the Crash Test Brummies. Bruce Brother for New World Order, but it's Chuck Rogers has lead, gets bumped to the outside by Don Gingiovanni. Bruce Brother with a nice spin move to exit the pack, so we've got both jammers free and scoring.
Bruce Brother dealt several massive hits. None of them took him down.
So I think there was Chuck Rogers was trying to pick up the points. Didn't get any, so called it off before Bruce Brother can get into the pack. Tintin jamming for New World Order just gets blocked up by Robert Rodriguez. Rex Tangle takes the middle route through turn one, picks up a lead. Tintin hot on his heels though, so again we're going to see some pressure jamming for Rex Tangle now.
Now let's see, New World Order seem to be trying to fight their way to the front of the pack. Robert Quadriguez trying to deny them that opportunity. A little bit of a block, and now he's unable to do so. Whoa, Rex Tangle gets all four. How many? Two for the New World Order, and the crowd goes nuts as the hometown team throwing some massive hits right in front of their support.
So we got Lieutenant Dam jamming against Ben Hurt here. Lieutenant Dam.
Whoa, massive hit by Jammy Dodger on Ben Hurt. Throws him out of bounds, has to recycle 40 feet behind the established pack.
That's given Lieutenant Dam the space he needs to get through and get lead. He's out and approaching the pack fast now. Ben Hurt still being held by Don Gingiovanni, who gives up to let Jammy have another go. Jammy doing some excellent blocking, just pushing him to the outside again. So Ben Hurt still not able to get out the pack now. Lieutenant Dam, first pass for 5 points. Back again, Jammy Dodger, Sausage Roller just doing some blocking before Ben Hurt finally allowed to get out on his scoring pass. Lieutenant Dan though easily picks up the last pass, calls off the jam. Still only 2 blockers on track against 4 New World Order.
This is that classic story, and guess what? It's going to be a lead jam for New World Order. They just need to keep their skaters on the track, don't the Brummies?
And they've got 2 of the better blockers out there, Barry Fight and Scott John DeRock. Scott John DeRock's had a great game so far, just helping, but you can't do much with only 2 blockers against 4. Robert Rodriguez is coming back for the Brummies to even the numbers slightly. It actually looks like we've had a full empty bin now. Both jammers now hitting the back of the packed walls.
So, 2 solid 4 walls.
New World Order have got the outside sewn up. the Brummies at the inside, so now both jammers looking for that gap.
Great job by Crash Test Brummies of sliding from the back to the front and not releasing the New World Order jammer, which in fact releases their own jammer out onto score for Rex Tangle.
So Rex Tangle's got half a lap on Lieutenant Dam here, so let's see if he can get in the pack and get some points scored here and take advantage of that lead he had. He's just been pushed to the outside by Don Gingiovanni. He's going to call it there.
All right, this jam is underway. Tintin jamming for New World Order, back to back. Barry Fight shoving Hugo Boss on behalf of the Crash Test Brummies up the front.
That is like one of those strongman competitions where you push a truck that's trying to push Slam C. Nesbitt and Hugo Boss along.
And it's Hugo Boss leveling Barry Fight out of bounds. He looked like he was almost all the way through and then just shoved to the track.
And that's allowed Tintin to pick up a lead. We're going to get some jammer on jammer here. Tintin just basically lets Barry Fight slip past him, call off. Clearly looks like he was just like relaxed around the track there. 3-on-3 in the pack. Again, Scott John DeRox with that great move, just pushing Bruce Brother to the outside. He's been a very effective blocker here.
Brummies risky though because their wall was falling apart. They tried to bridge, didn't need to yet, releasing Bruce Brother.
Truck Rogers still in the back of the pack, just trying to get some help from his blockers to push him through. Finally breaks just as Bruce Brother enters the engagement zone at the back of the pack to start his first scoring pass. We have Jammy Dodger on track jamming for New World Order. Ben Hurt of Crash Test Brummies. Both trying to fight their way through this filled pack as we get round turn 2 onto the crowd straight. Ben Hurt picks up the cut track major, so Jammy Dodger going to be on the power jam. Just been recycled all the way back along the outside of the crowd straight by Robert Rodriguez.
He's doing an excellent recycle job this bout, multiple times, although blocker recycling is such a strange feature of the modern game, isn't it?
Yeah, he had a taste of his own medicine as Bereft pushed him off and forced him to come back the length of that straight.
That's poetic justice if I ever saw it.
Jammy picks up the 5, just as he also picks up a nice little shoulder check from Alec Gately following out at the front of the pack. Chest to chest with Quarters again, got that 3 wall, goes to a 2 wall now.
And somebody's lost a mouth guard on the track.
Now it looks like it's a wrist splint from Bad Daddy Yan.
Is it? There it goes. Jammer's standing in the bin, so this power jam is going to be called off.
I think they've got one of the bigger New World Order lines out there. I think the only way they could make that slightly bigger would be putting a sausage roller on in place of Tintin, so they're going to have some offensive muscle there.
Well, you got to have your one token short guy, right?
It's almost worth it as Bruce got nudged to the inside by Scott John DeRox. Ben Hurt comes out of the bin, makes the pass, picks up lead jammer.
Bruce Brother was so lucky with his footwork there. He ran an extreme risk of cutting the track, being knocked right across the infield on the corner.
So Bruce Brother still yet to exit the pack. Just been held in place nicely by the Brummies. Finally gets out. As we see Ben Hurt out now for 5 points.
And Ben Hurt calls it before Bruce Brother has an opportunity to score, as well as number 25, Truck Rogers.
Indeed, so we're going to see these two jammers. They've gone against each other a number of times already. Jammy Dodger tries the inside, just manages to sneak his hips past, picks up lead jammer. Truck Rogers hanging off Barry Fight there, just trying to get that whip through on the inside, so he's out now.
Well, his skate's making an awful noise. Got to be something caught in one of them. Nonetheless, he's going to try to attempt a scoring pass.
Chuck Rogers with the sweet move there on the inside to jump through turn 2, picks up the 4 as Jamie exits with his 4. Just looking across the scoreboard, looking at the jam clock and the period clock.
I didn't see him get any signals from his bench on that pass.
He just looks like he's happily taking his time. I think he's going to let let Chuck Rogers hit the back of the pack before calling it off. Both look like they're taking the direct route through the middle of the wall. Bruce brother at the front.
He's got one to beat.
Steps past Riley Coyote, picks up a lead. As Rex Tangle bounced to the back of the pack again. Just steps past Slam C. Nesbitt. He's still got a couple of big bucklers in the form of, that looks like is that Don Gingiovanni and Hugo Boss, but finally skips past them to get out of the pack and start scoring. Bruce brother almost gets through. Captain Cageman pushes him to the inside, forces the call off.
And he calls it off with 7, 6, 5, 4 left on the clock.
Timeout called Brummies.
They'll save the last jam.
So we've got Lieutenant Dam just getting pushed to the inside by Captain Cageman. He's going to have to pick himself up and reset. Ben Hurt forcing his way around the outside. He's got bereft and Tintin. Tintin has to give up.
Look at the quad guards, or the crash test Brummies over there, all standing in a line, arm in arm.
I think that is just pride to wear the shirt. It doesn't matter whether you win or lose, it's whether you play the game
and
with
whether
respect.
And played it with heart and played it hard as hell. The Brummies gave it everything they had. They've left it all here on the track. They're doing beautifully this jam.
We see it time and time again, but it's what you don't see in a lot of sports, but you do see in Derby. It is that spirit.
It is. There is a spirit of Derby which is palpable here today, especially the way these Brummies are playing. They should feel nothing but pride for today's accomplishments.
Lieutenant Dan there took a heavy hit, it looks like, possibly from Rodas. He spent a bit of time on the floor doing, one of those impressive press-ups that they like to call. They don't like to fall over, they like to say they dive into a press-up sometimes. Picks himself up though and starts his scoring pass again. The cut track forced on Ben Hurt.
Oh.
As it looks like we've had a panty pass. Tintin now picks up the jamming duties for New World Order. I'm guessing the wind was not at Lieutenant Dan by that hit from Rodda, so he's passed it on to Tintin to finish this off. Scott John DeRocks, again, as I've said, all bout has been very impressive, just tackling the jammers.
About 10 seconds left in this jam.
So Tintin is going to probably get one more stab at the pack. Got a very slow.
That's it. And there's a massive cheer for both teams.
Final 3 points go up on the board for the crash test Brummies. And I think the final 3 go on that pass for New World Order.
Everyone around the track already for the greatest tradition in the history of roller derby. Of course, the high five circle.
High five laps, got sweaty high fives. Everyone loves them.
So, as the bowl champion, Manchester Roller Derby take their high fives. I'm Statman.
I've been Sven, will I be famous?
And we'll be signing off. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for listening.
All right, this is Statman here, and I've got Robert Quadriguez and Lieutenant Dam representing the 6th and 5th place teams respectively. So you were on the team last year. How does it feel to do so much better?
I mean, it was amazing. We got beaten in every game. We got 7 out of 7. So to come back this year and have a really good game, playing against teams that we really respect and taking a few wins home is amazing. It's a good feeling.
And Lieutenant Dam, how does it feel to be the first team to win the bowl?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. Obviously, we had some ups and downs throughout the tournament the whole time, but we just want to take each game as it came, and every opposition we've came against has just given us such a tough fight, physically ruined. So it's been a great tournament. I've really enjoyed it.
Excellent. Why don't you talk me through that recycle job where you made a recycle and then you were recycled yourself?
Yeah, if anything, I took somebody out. I can't remember who, but I know that Bereft was the one that took me out. And then I literally had every single second to fight to try and get through. I had 4 New World Order hardcore jammers. Yeah. I mean, they block as hard as they kiss. Let's put it like that. You know what I mean?
Well put, well put. So, do you block as hard as you kiss?
Oh, you'd have to ask the wife.
Well put. So, final jam, you get a power jam, and you have to pass the star.
Oh man, they're recycling, and they just bullied me for like a minute, and I was dead. So I was just taking a battering for the entire weekend. It was just a case of, nah, I'm not doing this anymore. Tin, take over, man.
Fair enough. Well, thank you both.
Thank you.
On behalf of the tournament, thank you for watching.